Hello everyone, I'm Dan Lutz and I'm here on the front lines all by my lonesome. There's no Tank and not even Elisa. So Tank is tied up in the project he's been working on inside deep inside documents. And I know how that is when you're deep inside of these things. You have to really keep your mind focused on the whole document, right? You have to be in it, and when you go in and out, it takes you time to get back into that mental space. So I get it. So I just wanted to let you know what he was up to. I have no news on anything regarding Kim directly, but I do know that there is interesting movements of money to Russia happening. So how this all plays as part of this realignment that's going on is it's hard to say, but it does look like it's firming up to be U.S., UK, Russia, Japan as the realignment, and the losers in the situation are is going to be communism worldwide, the cabal systems and practices, anything that was along the lines of the debt slavery system is on track for being dismantled. But that doesn't mean that it's going to stop there. It doesn't mean that at all. It could very much well be that there's going to be continued fights. But will they make any headway? I doubt it. We have Nancy Pelosi there in some climate change goal. I don't know what to call it, an organization that she's there. We'll go over that. I've got some we're gonna catch up on QAnon. QAnon's been out for a little while. I think they were having issues with the website, right? Because it's in a constant attack. It looked like it's back up. But I must say that when I was reviewing it before coming on, I believe a couple of the Q posts disappeared. I wish I would have done a screenshot, but it's okay. I do have some of the articles that they was referring to. I think already set up on a separate page. But anyway, we'll go over that. All right. So let me go ahead and first change screens here before we go into that. I'm going to go over one more thing that came to me in the WWG1WGA.love Telegram group. I must say I appreciate everything that people are posting there. It's kind of staying on topic. I appreciate that. It's become a place for posting the related videos and tweets and things of that we're all interested in, and I think that's a very good purpose for it. Not so much chatting, and that's all right. It's become a place where I can go and look and see, oh wow, this is the news coming from here, and this is news coming from there. And being in Telegram, it actually makes it somewhat safe from censorship, right? Of course, if there's something in there that shouldn't be there, I can censor it. Now, one of the things that is up there that you might say should be censored, but you'll get it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now. So let me go ahead and line this up a little bit. Okay. Looks like it's a little off center. Let me see if I can realign this. There we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Democratic frontrunner, Joe Biden. So we've heard Joe Biden giving this speech, right, where he's talking about corn pop, right? Well, there was more to the speech. So the audio from that speech was lifted, and now that provided an animation that actually goes into what this is. What is he saying in his speech is now depicted here on this video. So let's take a look.
And by the way, you know, I got hairy legs that turn that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Wow. Now the audio was not edited. The audio was not edited. I mean, this is the Democrat frontrunner. We're talking about Creepy Joe, and this is definitely in that category of creepy. So let's go on to the Q post. Now, the last we saw that November 26th is when Q was last posting, and we were talking about the Russian bots and then why Q is a LARP and something like that. Let's move on to today, December 3rd. U.S. penal, I don't know, is it penal code? I guess it's U.S. Code 18, Chapter 115, Treason, Sedition, and Subversive Activities. So down here at the bottom it says start, right? So it looks like they're about ready to start. So what's in here, right? We're talking about treason, misprision of treason, rebellion and insurrection, seditious conspiracy, advocating overthrow of the government, registration of certain organization, activities affecting armed forces generally, and activities affecting armed forces during war. And just so you know, we have been at war, haven't we? The Congress declared war on what? Terrorism after 9/11. We are at war. Just in case people didn't realize that, Congress actually put us in war. We haven't ended that war. So this is the same thing. This is the next post. It says 3638. But what I just read, let's look at what is being said in here. So that we're going into some of the actual language. So whomever knowingly, and I highlighted knowingly because remember Adam Schiff was also like to say the word knowingly. Right? And they're talking about his knowingly of different treasonous acts and things that he's been doing. So, whomever knowingly will willfully advocate, abets, advises, teaches, and that teaches the duty, necessary desirability, or propriety of overthrowing or destroying the government of the United States or the governments of any state, territory, district, or possession thereof, or the government of any political subdivision therein, by force of violence or by assassination of any officer of any such government, or whomever with intent to cause the overthrow or destruction of any government, prints, publishes, edits, issues, circulates, sells, distributes, or publicly displays any written or printed matter advocating, advising, or teaching the duty, necessary desirability, or propriety of overthrowing or destroying any government in the United States by force of violence or attempt to do so, or whomever organizes or helps or attempts to organize any society, group, or assembly of persons who teach, advocate, or encourage the overthrow of destruction of any such government by force, violence, or become its member or affiliates with any such society, group, or assembly of persons, knowing the purpose thereof. So if you know the purpose is to overthrow the United States, all right, and you join these organizations, or you're responsible for setting these organizations up, these groups, assemblies of persons. Let's say a couple of them. Antifa, right? There's one that we can look at. What else? Well, how about the news organizations? Aren't they also organized to subvert? I would say so. I'd say that they are actively trying to destroy the government of the United States and replace it. Right? This is what I see is happening. So let's continue here. Now this is the punishment. Shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 20 years or both. So fined or imprisonment for 20 years. And shall be ineligible for employment by the United States or any department thereof for 5 years next following his conviction. Well, isn't this odd? Why is this in here? How could they ever, after committing treason, be brought back into the government? Like, why is that in there? Oh, 5 years later? No problem. I'm sorry. I think that's a lifetime. But anyway, it's in there. If 2 or more persons conspire to commit any of the offense named in this section, each shall be fined under or this title or imprisoned not more than 20 years or both, and shall be ineligible for employment by the United States or any department or agency thereof for 5 years for the next following his conviction. As used in this section, the terms organizes and organize with respect to any society, group, or assembly of persons include recruiting of new members and forming of new units and the regrouping or expanding of existing clubs, classes, and other units of such societies, group, or assembly of persons. So when you see Antifa forming, or you see any, let's add a couple more. How about anyone that's following, let's say, climate change enthusiasts, right? That will ignore all the facts, right, and claim they have the facts, right, and ignore what's really happening. Anytime there's evidence that comes up, they say you're climate deniers, right? So they're organized to overthrow the existing government that we have, that is basically for the prosperity of the people. Well, it also mentions societies. Well, what's a society, right? So societies are groups of people that want to follow a particular, let's say, morals, ethics, their religion. So societies also. So what are societies? Well, one that I like to use is say Red Cross. Now, they say it's an international organization, but it's a society. There used to be plenty of societies out there. Society of business women. I think my grandmother was part of the forming of that one. I might be wrong on that, but I know Society of Business, and I think it's Business and Professional Women, I think is what it was. But, there are the other societies that are more on the, say on the dark side of things. They're out there that are doing things that would be subversive and treasonous, right? They even look to take over and get rid of our country. So these are just things to be aware of societies. All right, let's move on. So now the next one, 3639, the trip configuration on 8 Kun, right? So what does that mean? Is this right here is now a new, what they call trip code. This is how you know, if you see this code on the post, that it actually came from Q. The previous trip code had to be replaced because of the new website and everything. They wanted to keep the same one, but what they're doing is confirming the trip code. So how do they do that? Well, 3640 is talking about a 1 minute delta. Well, this takes us over to, where is it? I lost it. Here it is. So, or it's talking about Trump putting out a post, right? And this post is really saying that the Republican Party has never a tweet rather, not a post, but the Republican Party has never been so united. This impeachment scam is just a continuation of a 3-year witch hunt, but it's only bringing us even closer together. It's a nice statement from Trump, right, about being together. So look at the timestamp, right? And then you go over and you see the time difference between that and what did this Q post say, trip config. So they want to confirm the trip configuration. 1 minute delta means there's 1 minute between the two times. So who posted first in this? Well, this is a 9 hours, 55 minutes, and 59 seconds. And over here we have 9 hours, 56 minutes. So it's less, that's like 1 second away from 56. It's say 1 minute delta. You could say it's a 1 second delta. So this is really confirming, that this is the new trip code. That's what this is about. Okay, let's move on. This is also another confirmation, right? So this is trip code confirmed, right? And they're talking relays. This is how the information goes out. I believe these pass through the Department of Defense servers. Interesting enough. Now here's another trip code confirmed too, right? And this is the watch, the pen, and the notebook. So this watch has been used. Now we look at the time frame that's on here. What is it trying to say? So you have to look at everything. You can look at the second hands. You can look at the hour and the minute hand. So it's 1:30, right? With about 11 seconds past. It also has on here these which represent. Actually, I don't know what this top one represents, and the bottom one here. Kind of hard to see exactly what it's showing in frames, but and there's number 2 over here. So is that the second? Right. So that's December 2nd. They're confirming things. Oh, interesting enough. All right, so let's move on. So now we go to Q repost a justice marker from almost 2 years ago. So now he's talking about justice. So this is a reprint of what happened 2 years ago from his Q post, which is number 309, justice. So we're expecting justice, right? All right, now let's move on. The world's biggest media companies continue to attack QAnon. So I've got these two also. We'll bring these up. So why are the largest media companies in the world constantly attacking this so-called conspiracy? So people awake equals greatest fear, information warfare. So why are we looking here at Sergey Brin of Google and Alphabet company? So he's the president of Alphabet Inc. Suspicious, that name, isn't it? Alphabet agencies out there. Net worth $45 billion, right? Now you have Ann Wojcicki, right, co-founder of 23andMe. This is a DNA testing site, right? A database for this, so you can get your DNA tested. Then you have Susan Wojcicki of YouTube, net worth $410 million. Interesting that the DNA database is that net worth there is $1 billion, but she's only net worth of $410 million. Now these two are sisters. Interesting enough. Let's see. Let's pull up a few things here. I'm going to close that one. Let's close that one. Trying to find them. We did the 1 minute delta. Okay. So, we kind of just went over this one. Move on. Yeah. All right. Skip through them. Yeah, my sequence got messed up because some of these disappeared. All right, so this let's move on to this next one. 3645. Security cam pic in London. File name reference to Lisa Page and MI6. So this came from Lisa Page, and the file name's referencing Lisa MI6. So that's this down here. That's the name of the file. Be ready, Anons. Public awakening coming. So that's what we're talking about here. Interesting. So there was an event that just happened on the London Bridge. So let's talk about that a little bit. So this was on In Pursuit of Truth. He said that this was removed from YouTube already. That makes things very much noticeable, right? When they remove something, why did they remove it? It had to do with narwhal tusks, the Queen of England, and London bridges falling down. So I'm going to switch cameras here. So this video was In Pursuit of Truth. Now he's got it saved, but for some reason the video itself was pulled down. Maybe it's on BitChute. Speaking of BitChute, again, we have downloaded all the videos from this channel. All 900 plus videos have been downloaded. So thank you for everyone that helped. We still have to upload them to BitChute or other places, and we will go ahead and do that. It will take a little time of organizing. So because we do not know what's going to happen in regards to our YouTube channel on December 10th. So, but let's talk about what In Pursuit of Truth, Patrick Mack was reporting on. There was an event that took place by someone with whose name was Khan, that was coming. That was they were inferring that he was an Islamic person that was going to commit some sort of act, and it seemed to be very unusual, right? Because there was a building that they were having an event in that this person was attending, and after the event, he's out on the bridge, and he's holding a couple of knives. There's people that are watching. Someone grabs from this building where they were attending some seminar, and they had what are narwhal tusks. Narwhal are kind of mammals of the sea that are kind of like sea lions or those type of walruses and things. But it has kind of a unicorn single long tusk on the front of its head. And they had two of these that were mounted inside that building. So supposedly what happened was someone went into the building, grabbed the narwhal tusk as kind of like a weapon to go after the one holding the two knives, Khan. And that they were simply like end up wrestling him to the ground, and they used a fire extinguisher, and they were trying to basically bring take care of the situation. Now, Sir Patrick Mack made a couple of observations. One is that it seemed a little odd on certain things. I mean, if you get hit by a fire extinguisher, that hits you, it may be a little hard to breathe and maybe disoriented, but there's no ill effects, right? But the guy was obviously was being affected by it. And the other is that some of the people that seemed to be there seemed relatively calm and taking photos, and some things look staged. So he was just presenting that maybe this was some sort of staged event. He also made the point to say that there is, for the Queen of England, if she is to pass away, that there is a code that they use, that what they will use, that's London Bridge is down. So that it's kind of like, so that it's kind of this one of their codes to say that, so they can alert the people in the know that this has happened, so that they can prepare the nation and so on for like that the Queen has passed. Now she's in her 90s, and it can be expected that she can pass, or she may be here another 10 years. But we know that they like to use events to cause delays. We saw Jimmy Carter had just gone into the hospital for pneumonia, I believe it was. So, are they preparing events? Right. So, it seems though that if they took down this video from Sir Patrick Mac, that maybe that this was one of the things that they were planning as an event to distract the public from things that are going on, right? Because if FISA gets declassed and it's out in front of everyone, they're going to have a lot of things to go, and they don't, and their impeachment stuff is not working. So everything that they're doing is not working, and they're having a big problem. Okay, so let's go back to where we were. So that's what that's all about. Ooh. Sorry about that. I switched screens there to get more light. Because when I go on this screen, I know my camera becomes darker, but that's okay. Okay. Oh, we were on this screen. See, I messed up on the screen. I wasn't talking to you directly through the camera. So, I'm trying to segment it to that if I'm going to speak about a topic that I go back to viewing me directly. But I switched my tabs on my browser, but I didn't switch the screen. So we never left this. So, all right. Let's move on here. Logical thinking will wait for the precise moment to release the FISA declass. So 3646. Anons. Why would we provide the date of the FISA release? Question mark. Logical thinking. Ammunition is finite, meaning that you don't want to shoot one of the powerful weapons before it's time. Let's move on. So here's the Paris Agreement and climate, another scam to rip off taxpayers and enrich the politicians. There's a picture of the Eiffel Tower. So let's go to this Reuters first. The U.S. House Pelosi, Speaker of the House Pelosi says, climate summit, we're still in. Oh, really? I thought the president pulled us out. So why is she there saying we're still in? We'll go ahead. We'll play this.
At our agenda, I have a rule of Codell's. When we travel abroad, we don't talk about the president in a negative way, and we save that for home.
So that I don't really think that's so appropriate, do you? But let's go to the jump to the end.
Senate to continue this crucial conversation. By coming here, we want to say to everyone, we're still in. The United States is still in.
It's not her call. It's not her call to say we're still in or not. No. So anyway, who audits where the money actually goes? So what are we talking about here? We're talking about climate change. We're talking about pulling people's money away. They want to charge you for breathing. They want to give you, because you're basically putting out CO2 when you breathe. They're going to want to tax you for breathing. It is not a joke. They really do want to do this. How are they going to do it? Well, you're alive. Well, here's your tax. You're not alive. Okay, your tax stops. Now, is that the ultimate in mercantilism? Well, treating their assets, right? Their cows. Oh, if the cows fart, We'll have to count that and charge it to the meat. Oh, you can't have cows, so you have to be vegetarian. What happens is they keep carrying it forward, so that they can control and just give everyone grain feed, right? So anyway, let's continue here. Let's see what this one says. How much will the Paris Agreement actually cost? Well, here it's saying 100 billion in climate finance per year, right? But they're falling short. Only 10.3 billion has been pledged by the developed countries. And if you go down here, they're talking about from the U.S. Side. Let's see, the total cost for developing countries, which will probably be all U.S. implementing their national determined contributions (NDCs) is more than 4.4 trillion. Now, again, that's all to go into the politicians' pockets. That's what that money is for. So here's the plan, right? How to steal the taxpayer money. The con, right? Determine the topics, create the media blitz, scare campaign, use pro-narrative minded authorities, deploy the circular reporting and groupthink tactics, use public outcry to justify billions of dollars spent, because the public says, hey, we have to stop the planet from being destroyed by the climate. We spend our money, tax everybody, get it from the rich. Who audits, right? Who is the question? There's the question. Who is auditing? Nobody. Nobody's auditing. This money just goes out. Nobody knows where. Well, we do know. 7.2 billion went to Ukraine. Where did it go? Where is that money? I wonder. It's interesting that they keep asking for Trump's tax returns. We want Trump's tax returns. There must be something in there that shows that he is doing bad things. But he's holding them back. He's going to release them. He says he's going to release them. But he's going to release them at the time, and then he says, okay, I release mine. Now, Nancy Pelosi, you release yours. So, where does the money goes, right? A percentage to the original mandate. How much goes to the original mandate? So if you're saying that you're going to be, against fish overfishing, right? And they put in money to stop the fishermen from doing something. They put $1 billion in, but only 10 million goes into the, new fish nets, whatever it is. All the rest of the money goes into the pockets of the politicians. So what is the salary of a U.S. senator? What is the salary of a U.S. congressman or woman? What's the salary of a president? What's the salary of a vice president? And what is their net worth before they get into office? And what is their net worth after they get into office? How do elected officials become mega multimillionaires? Corruption, logical thinking. So we know that's what's going on. The money is basically flowing into their hands. All right, so let's move on. So this is Happy Holidays from California, Nancy Pelosi and Governor Nunes. So while it's burning down, they're all happy to tell you about it. I like the little flame just behind Nancy's hair there. It looks kind of appropriate, doesn't it? And this one is, it's going to be biblical. Yes, it is. So now that Russia collusion is proven lie, when do the trials for treason begin? And we have this little YouTube clip. I have this ready to go. I'm skipping ahead a little bit.
They bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gotta be biblical.
It's gonna be biblical. Well, there we go. So that's it. Now there were, I think a couple more posts up there. I don't know. Maybe I was just delusional about it, but yeah. Oh yeah, there was this was one of them. All right. So no, it wasn't. No, this was. I just forgot to show this to you. This was part of this the Q proof, the 1 second delta. So, but I wanted to point this out. This was an interesting image. I love this particular one. Actually, I'm going to save that. How do I do that? I usually don't save things from here, so I'll use the traditional method. I will go ahead and do a screen capture. There we go. And of course, there's different things coming up, but I love this one. Trump on this train. You got oil, trade, and Jesus there on. You got the MAGA train. It's beautiful. Great Awakening. Q sent me. Nothing can stop what is coming. All right. So that I think that's good for a moment. Oh, this was one of the things that disappeared. This is one. All right. Let me zoom in on this one. Interesting. I knew I said there was something that was missing. So now this has to do about the alphabet agencies, right? That are out there. So the agency's posture towards the media, and basically is and there he's saying this is kind of like a report, right? So he's saying the agency's posture towards the media is basically defensive, reactive, tongue-tied. What we say is no comment. That disclosure was wrong and outrageous. Next, we wring our hands and send emissaries out to brief the key people in the administration and Congress and correct the record, and then hunker back and wait till the next blow. Maybe it's time for an offense as well as a defense, an attempt to get things in better balance. Here are some personal thoughts as the do's and don'ts on this score. You know what? I'm just going to take a screenshot of this one too. Because I don't know if this will disappear. Because yes, these things are disappearing. Oh yes, in that one. All right, I guess that's all that we have lined up there. I'll go ahead and switch back. There we go. And let me also, I'm going to go ahead and check and see on our streaming here. See now if there's anyone that wants to ask any questions, go ahead and put in the queue in the chat, and put then answer your question there, and I'll look back as we go through this. Yes. Anything here? Yeah, talk about Chinese and banking. A lot of problems there. The swamp is being drained. It is. So it's a space shot 76 justice. Yeah, that justice is coming. So we were all expecting something before Thanksgiving, right? This is again getting them all psyched up, right? Getting ready for something to happen because they expect something to happen. But they're playing out their trial. This faux trial, while Trump is away at NATO, that's where Trump is now. Trump wants to get out of NATO. I mean, what is the purpose in being there in NATO? To prevent Russia from invading with tanks? Is that really what's going on? Why are not the European countries, able to go ahead and deal with it on their own? right? So, this is everything is being realigned. It's been more than 50 years since World War II, right? So it's time to move on. Right, keep looking. iPod said that the dude got up and walked away afterward. Yes, he did. Yeah, Louis, that's correct. So, I saw the video. I wish I didn't know it was going to disappear. I thought it was something to actually. I wanted to bring it up, but it disappeared. I don't know. Maybe it's back. I don't know if he's going to repost it. Maybe it's on BitChute. I could probably find it there. Very interesting. But anyway, we were expecting, to see things happening, and I think it's about really bringing forth the information in a way that continues to wake up people, and that's all that this all is about, is waking up the people. That's why I think that there's no commitment to basically for there to be a vote on impeachment, right? I think that Nancy Pelosi, if she doesn't have the vote, she won't basically put it up for the vote, right? Only if she can get the impeachment. I would encourage at this point, and it's maybe strange to say so, but if they go for an impeachment vote, that all the Republicans should vote for the impeachment, right? Overwhelmingly. Not to impeach the Trump, but to get it to the trial so that we can actually, bring out all the information. And the Republican states can state so afterward. This is a protest vote for impeachment. They say we want our say, but we can't have it here, and then have all of our stars from this faux impeachment, like Jordan and Gates. And others that have them go and have them be the A team in the Senate, have them be part of the team there to bring forth the witnesses, because they weren't able to do it in the House, to really just show what's been going on here, right? And then then restrict the Democrats from answering, flip the tables on them, do the opposite in the Senate. There has to be some sort of repercussions for what the House did. Really, they need to. Otherwise, this is going to happen every time there is a Republican president. They're going to go ahead and impeach. They're going to string it out, prevent them from doing the work, or to basically do their best to obstruct from it occurring. It's more than not fair, right? It's actually subversive. It's treasonous. It's a planned a removal. That's why they want to change the Constitution. That's changing the government. And they want to get rid of the Electoral College. They want to expand the number of judges on the Supreme Court, because they want to make sure that they have a better way to control what's happening here. It's all about the power. I'm going to see if there's any questions listed here and move on. Oh, we're at the bottom of the list there. Okay. This open letter of Robert David Steele is important. My feeling about Robert David Steele is that he is more of an asset of the C_A clowns. He's a clown in himself. I'm very wary of anything that comes about from there. Same as with Alex Jones. I'm not saying that Alex Jones doesn't bring forth good information, but it may be part of the control system. It's they deplatformed him, but was it not the test case to say and what was the message? If they can deplatform him, they can deplatform everybody. Well, they did. They deplatformed. Does that mean they can deplatform everyone? See, they set up the message, right? And Robert David Steele is part of that group, and also Robert David Steele is part of. I was watching, what is it, the International Tribunal for Natural Justice, right? And I was looking at the trials that were going on about, the human, let's say, unauthorized travel plans. They're coming up with another word instead of saying that TRAFICKING. Because I'm trying to follow what Sir Patrick Mack does, right? He's not saying certain words, or who else? In Serial Brain too, also avoiding certain landmine words. So anyway, that's what that attempt is. But anyway, so there was a group that naturally had formed to actually combat these things. They had made arrest attempts against the Pope. They had done many things to bring out all of this information. They're already organized and doing these things. And then somehow this International Tribunal for Natural Justice comes out, and then you have this round table of individuals coming to it, right, and all with looking very official in their religious robes, right, and conducting, but it's kind of like they want to manage the message and give, and the way it was brought about was the message is, well, yeah, these guys are really bad, but we have to forgive them. Yes, they must be punished. But we have to do this in a way that is so we can elevate and be of higher spiritual energies, right? And that's kind of the background message to it. So is it another game? And Robert David Steele is part of that effort. So that's why I'm very cautious when I'm looking at it. Now this information came from Thomas. So I'm just aware. I'm just being aware of it. So I'm not saying not to listen to Robert David Steele. I'm saying be aware of who he is, where he came from, and what is the message that they're going to be bringing about. That's it. Just be aware of it. Okay. Just looking a little bit more. All right. So, what else to cover here? Well, I've been, I know that Tank is tied up in the project he's on, and the reason why this broadcast was late is because I literally am sleeping much later, and I don't think I went to bed until 4 a.m. this morning. And so I woke up, just about, an hour before I went on. So that's why it's been a bit late. I've been working on my project, and it's well underway. And I feel so excited about what is happening with it. I think the people that have stepped up to also help me by sending me some money to help move it along. They get it. I've tried to make offers to say, I'll give it back to you in the coin that's going to be put out there, and they will, you get make it a loan, and everyone is basically saying the same thing. They want to just be involved with it, and that's fine. I'll welcome their involvement. I say, well, make you a leader in the group, and that's not even about that. So this is what gives me such really I feel touched that I'm in with the group that feels this way, right? Because I for a long time I even got involved with, like I said before, CEO Space with their cooperative capitalism which is about helping everyone around you without expecting anything in return. It's really to give of yourself to help. And it's not the quick pro quo type of environment. It's not the Babylonian accounting system. You do this for me, I do that for you. It's about how can we all rise together. And I really feel blessed to be here where people are helping. And if you'd like to also join in, I definitely can. Usually, the time frame is going to move out to. Though we'll be done with the programming in about 2 to 3 weeks. It's the holidays, so it could just say 4 weeks, but that would really takes us, in through the holiday period. And so I'd say mid-January we'll go ahead and launch and have people start working on this and building this up. And we're literally building a society. It is a group of like-minded people, right, with our own morals and ethics, and we want to help each other, right, and we want to contribute, and there is a payback, but it's not defined, right? I know that there's an aspect of I love math. I'm not as good as I was when I was back in college and doing quadratic equations or advanced calculus or even hyperdimensional physics. There is a reality that math is the language of nature. One of the forms. There's many ways that nature speaks to us, but in a way to say it's a universal language, because math is just math. It's just math wherever you are, and within this reality, the math will always bear out, even though the symbology of it may be different. The actual context is the same. And I know that there was the rule of threes, where things come back to you threefold, and it seems to hold up. But how do you measure these certain things? So, but this I feel that this times three comes back in ways that we can't really count. But there's other numbers. I think it follows through the Tesla numbers as well. I think that applies. Three, 6, and 9. What unfolds is abundance. I see that part of Tesla is done is tapping into the abundance, and to realize the infinite nature of things, our infinite value. One of the lessons out of TPC coin, Kringle coin, we basically related to members joining. That when they joined, they gave value to our coin, right? And we related it to gold, right? So 1 grain of gold for 1 member that joined added to the coin value. Seems simple, right? But if you think about, well, this, we recognize that we're infinite value, but we're giving this small amount, even though it's multiplied a billionfold. But this value is something you can count. But I made a presentation about this, interesting enough, is that if you basically take you and make a statue of you in gold, and then you say, okay, what is more valuable, you or the statue of solid gold of you? And I'd ask this question of people, and they would say, well, the statue of gold. Because we're trained to think that the value is in the gold when it's actually, we're of infinite value. We're much more valuable than the gold because we are infinite. The universe is infinite. It's continuing to expand. The ones that said that the universe would collapse back on itself they all ran and hid, because found out that that hasn't slowed down, that the expansion of the universe is continuing to accelerate. So not only are we accelerating, and growing, we're not just growing bigger. The universe is just continuing to expand outwards, but it's going out faster. It's continuing to increase in speed. So the aspect of infinite means that we have an abundance. That is the nature of things. So when we realize that we don't have to have a scarcity mindset, this planet is abundant. We have plenty of space, air, water, and food. The only thing getting in the way is the people that want to maintain power and control over what they say is theirs. It's the herd. I'm not against ownership of private property or of your own business. I think that is the aspect of you putting out your work, your creation. You own that. That also includes your children. You own your children. It is an ownership. There is in societies around the world, and you have a rite of passage for men and women. Where when the child becomes an adult, that's when they are on their own. But they're still part of the family, right? But they're still your children. But it's not about the ownership that we've been. You got a piece of paper that says that you own something. This is just part of our creation. It's ours. So this ownership and ours may be different. We can think about that. So, but I encourage everyone that would like to participate with me to go to the wwg1wga.love website and become a member. There is like monthly contributions from $1.11, $8.88, $8.88, $99.99 a year. But there's also some other higher amounts there if you'd like to contribute, and that makes it much easier for you to contribute for 200, 500, 1,000. And there have people, and it's such a blessing to have the people here in this audience that actually have used this 1,000. All right, and this is what's really helped me to move forward, and I would like to return the blessings in ways, and I'm not going to try and if anyone wants to get coin back, that's fine with me. I'm happy to go if they want to participate in management or the leadership of these groups. I'm happy if you want to do anything or however you want to contribute thereafter. Even on the website itself, I need actually some people that want to help manage that. It's outside, but I think the things that we're putting in Telegram, for example, this list of videos, it'll be a good place if we can put the videos up there. I can expand the capability of that site to actually host videos. It's actually not a lot of money to add that, to the site. So these videos would be safe and put in there, and we can make some of them membership. $1.11 a month, right? You get to access the videos. This helps build this. I mean, maybe we're forced into that. Maybe this actually becomes a good thing for us. Whatever YouTube does. If YouTube ends up destroying this channel, it doesn't mean we stop. We accelerate. We expand. All right. I think we'll keep this. We'll cap it here. I'd just like to add, again, I could use a little bit more help right now here for carrying me forward. If someone could give some donations, also there's a direct PayPal email address in the description below. Or as I said, you go to the wwg1wga.love site, which is also down below in the description. And you can go ahead and become a member there. That would also help. But besides that, I appreciate everything everyone has done. We are truly amazing. So until tomorrow, let's hope the tank is back. Or at least Lisa. Or if anyone else would like to join, I should have asked for Tui. All right. Actually, what I'll do is I'll put out a link tomorrow. I'll post it in the wwg1wga.love. If they're not back tomorrow, if Tank's not back, I'll use my Zoom link, and then I can make it so it's open. I don't have control over this particular Zoom, so anyway, we'll leave it there. All right, goodbye everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.